So today we're going to take a look at Ferocious. This one's been a little while coming. I've been waiting. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about with this game, man, because there's ups, there's downs. I cannot cover this for the main channel, and we'll get into why. But if you're new here or you haven't already, do us a favor and take a look at my main channel, please. Especially my latest video, man. That's my best work yet. I'm telling you. But if you prefer to stick around here, that's fine. Just stick us in the background, second monitor, or if you dare, yes, you may watch me as well. I'll try and make that work. But anyway, Ferocious. So this is a game that I've been wanting to cover on here for a little while. It came out about, what's that? Oh, quite a few weeks ago then, maybe like 2-3 weeks ago. And it met mixed reception. And honestly, for good reason as well. It's a game I've been looking forward to for years, and to have it is great, but they really could have given this game a bit more time in the oven. If anything, I'm a bit curious as to why they released it in this state, because it's not an early access title. Technically it is. This is technically early access. But they released it as a full game. And that's just a little bit curious to me, because I can tell, while this game loads up, I can tell that the people working on this were really passionate about it, and they still are. They're still working on it. They're still like adding as many patches to this thing as they can until it's a functional product. And you'll see. I really want them to find success, because the idea they have here is it's just so good. It's just so good. I'm going to turn that down a bit. So what is Ferocious? Well, Ferocious is basically Far Cry with dinosaurs. Classic Far Cry with dinosaurs, if you know what I mean. I think I'll just continue from where I am. I don't really know how I'm going to show this off precisely. I never have a system for these videos, but let's see. I'm just going to go get the heating on, and I'll be right back while this loads up and all that. So, I think the first thing that I want to get across, do I like this game? Yeah, I love this game, even though it's a broken game right now. First off, this game's gorgeous, which is all the more impressive because this was only made by just a handful of people. I think roughly 4 to 5 people worked on this game. It's an indie studio that put this together. It started off as a one-man passion project. Then they got a little team together to kind of really make it a fully fledged campaign and all that kind of stuff. And if you ask me, at least look-wise, this game looks absolutely great for an indie project. Guns in this game is great. Let's see, what's my... You know what I mean? Oh, and it's starting to rain as well, which is also great. The weather effects are something else. And you'll also notice this kind of focus on you'll kind of notice the lack of a HUD as well. They really want to provide you with this experience without a HUD. So how do you check, well, how many bullets are in your guns? Well, if you hold down the reload button, you get a neat little animation that shows you how many bullets are in the thing. But while I'm looking at this, I have a lot of energy today. I really shouldn't. The first thing that I kind of want to draw attention to is the HUD elements, when there are HUD elements. It's a bit jank. It's a bit cheap looking. And it's a bit unfinished. For a start, you'll notice this line of text along the bottom of the screen. Now, I understand that is informing me that I can clean up my weapons based off of resources that I find. You know, makes a squishy sound and all that. Guns do get dirtier the more they get worn down, and then eventually, once the percentage beneath the ammo counter reaches 0, your guns can start to jam up and stuff like that, which is... I love the idea. It's just that it never happens, because the resources to clean your guns with are far too plentiful. I think they kind of got to rebalance a lot of the inventory elements in this game, but that's just one thing. The next thing, since I'm talking about HUD elements, is a lot of the indicators and stuff like that are just a bit too... You know what I mean? Since when does an interaction prompt have to be... Now, fair enough, I bound it to the middle mouse button, so it's going to say middle button. But this is a state. This is a mess. What they need to do is, instead of putting up a little text indicator there, the solution is actually right there in front of it. In front of us. Let it just be that little white blip. Just the little white blip that lets me know when I can interact with something if I want a HUD element to be there. Not this over hold save game, hold the button to save the game, blah 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 blah. It kind of distracts from the whole idea that they want a game that doesn't rely on HUD too much. Where can I go next with this? Well, I don't know. I guess I'll just, like, carry on and see. Let's see. Where's my map button? Where's my map button? Is that my map button? Is that my map button? There we go. It's been a little while since I've played this, but we're all right. Another nice little thing that I like when it comes to figuring out what you got to do in this game, because this is not an open world game. It's not, but it's an open-ended game. It's an open-ended linear game. The thing I like about this game's level design is each level is set in a very open environment. It just requires you to go to certain areas in order to progress the story. How's the story? It's a bit hit or miss. It's a bit bland, but that's okay. The thing is, I never expected perfect to come out of this game. Don't worry, we're going to show off a lot of what I love about this game in a bit. I just want to get some thoughts off, you know, just in case. I also naively hope that the devs kind of catch this video as well, and maybe they can take some pointers from what I'm going to have to say here. But yeah, another thing I really like about the game, I want to try and give this as many compliments as I can, because I really do recognize that this is a good game hidden under a lot of jank. And a lot of the jank as well, the thing that gives me hope is that a lot of the jank in this game is just a lot of simple things. They're just a lot of simple things that can be fixed. Quite simple enough, I can imagine. They don't need to do much to change the gameplay. They just need to polish it. They just need to polish up the HUD elements. They just need to polish the resource management, the detection stuff and all that. And especially the sound effects, because while things like guns sound amazing in this game, everything else in the game is very awkward when it comes to sounds. The movement, I'm quite happy with the movement aside from a few things. For a start, my boy's got some knobbly knees. Like, are you seeing this? This is what happens when I stay still and the guy's knees go all knobbly wobbly. My arms clip through my knees and stuff like that. You can see this awkward little thing in the bottom left of the screen that my shoulder is just kind of showing on the screen and all that. I think a lot of this, I wonder if there's like ladders around here, because like moving around is fine. Sliding is smooth, but it needs a sound effect. It needs, dare I say, it might even need a little bit more of a, you know, a sliding effect, more of a, you know, when you slide on the floor and you hear that, you know what I mean? That's not here. It's just silent. Silent as anything. But it's not to say that it's all bad, because things like climbing the geometry in the game, that's perfectly fine. I'm perfectly happy with that. Versus, say, if I were to go to a ladder, I'm actually glad with where I'm at in the game, because I can show off a lot of stuff straight off the bat. Some of the a fair amount of the animations in this game is very crooked and janky and weird. And I think it's simply because they chose to sync your arms and legs with things that you interact with. It's the same with rope climbing as well. Is there anything else that I take issue with? That nothing I can think of off the top of my head. But I think a lot of this stuff could be fixed in a very simple way. With my first suggestion being, how much of these animations do you actually need to show arms and legs for? Because even when I look down right now, because I get it, you want to make it that you can see the legs on the ground and all that. It's just that it's very janky, because even now you can see the arm clipping through the legs and all that. And I'm wondering... Well, okay, I'm about to explain that point. I am. Well, I'm getting to it. What do you think? What do you think? The cat's distracting me. My co-host cat. Yeah, a simple fix for this, I think. And I understand if the devs wouldn't want to take this particular direction. Oof, everything's going off. But what if with half of these things, what you do is just remove the legs? I wouldn't mind if they just removed the legs to save from a little bit of jank, rather than going through the painstaking efforts to make it work better, because I can imagine that taking quite a while to get working. Same with things like climbing ladders, because climbing ladders is very slow. It's very jittery, it's very, very wonky. And again with the interaction prompt, just let it be the little white blip. Just a little white blip. I think a lot of this game's issues can be mended through removing things. Just things that you can afford to get rid of, that don't damage the experience, that don't devalue your overall experience. And that's where, yeah, I would be like, instead of making the, going through showing what, like, everything that's going on with, like, the ladder here, instead, just make it that the arms and leg, everything, your arms and legs, just kind of tuck away from the screen. You can't see anything. You can't see anything of yourself. It's just the ladder. And what it does is you just kind of more like move up the ladder. You glide up the ladder, because that's how a lot of games handle that sort of thing anyway. You don't have to get every little detail into your game to make it feel immersive, because that's another thing that this game is clearly going for, is immersion. It would definitely do you a lot better than the likes of just things like this, where it's just like, ooh, it's just a bit painful to watch. Is there anything else I want to talk about movement-wise? I don't think so. Because other than that, getting around is slick. I've seen some people complain about the movement before, but nah, they're lying, bro. They're lying. Anything else? Because I can't really show off combat right now. Let me think. Oh, hold on. Am I... where I think I am. Because another thing's like, because I can imagine people like throwing in a suggestions like, what if you could like clamber up any ledge? Because you can't. It's limited to these sort of spots, and I personally don't mind that. It's fine. It all works. They're used plentifully throughout environments and stuff like that. And especially because this is an indie team, it just wouldn't feel fair to place that level of demand on a small team. Especially since a lot of what they do in this game is stellar, and I'm not joking. I want this game to see success. Another thing, I know this is a bit boring to watch, but this is why I say you got to put it in the background. You listen to this, you don't watch it. But let me think. I'm curious, by the way. Can I? Like sometimes you can shoot lights out, and it can like. I don't know. I'm just like side tangenting over here. I think another thing that the dev team really needs to do, I think they really need to do this. I don't know if it's possible, I don't know if it's allowed, I don't know what the rules are, but I think it would be very important that they change their Steam store page to an early access page, because this is still not quite done yet. And I can imagine quite a lot of what needs to be tuned up in this game is going to take a bit of a while. Now, to be fair, we've seen games go through this situation before, like No Man's Sky, Cyberpunk. Those are the top ones in my mind anyway. And those are games that released in worse states, like much worse states. But we did eventually see them turn around to eventually become the games they were supposed to be all along. And I have no doubt that this game can achieve the same thing. Especially with a lot of the issues just being general little things. I'm not too fussed about the story. I don't like the story in of itself, but that's fine. It doesn't get in the way or anything like that. You still get what is at the end of the day an immersive first-person shooter about Far Cry mechanics and dinosaurs. It's so cool. Right, so with all that being said, I think we can move to the next stage here. So one thing's for sure, I'm loving this level. Like, it's all about like getting to radio towers. You don't climb radio towers, but it's all about like getting to radio towers and booting up a signal to progress the story. The environment around here is brilliant. All the long grass, and I think in this level you got things like raptors around here and stuff as well. I'll try and show off a bit of how the AI works, because some of the animals I'm actually quite happy with. Things like that there's giant crabs in this game, and I like how they work. The raptors in this game work pretty cool as well. But a lot of the other animals that attack you, at least namely, there's like these wee guys with like feathers, like little wee black dinosaurs with feathers on them. They look a bit like raptors, but they're not. They have a severe issue with just running straight towards you and spam attacking you. There's no way to get them to back off. I think all of the dangerous wild creatures in this game really need that kind of system, and for a lot of them there is a system like that, like with the giant crabs that I've seen in this game. They are slow moving. They are heavily armored, and you have to aim for specifically their legs to take them down, and that's a great system. There's also, what's that thing? There's like the giant scorpion-looking things. They're like spider-esque like creatures, and they hide from you in long grass, and you kind of have to identify where they are. They announce themselves by hissing at you, and then they'll like attack you when you get close, and that's also a great system. The Velociraptors are probably my favorite because while they do run straight towards you, they have this interesting system where if you turn away from them, they come right at you. But if you look at them, I think if you like shine a torch at them as well and you shoot at them a bit and stress them out, they back off. And like gain some tactical distance, and then they'll kind of try and approach you from a different angle. That's brilliant. Because it provides a lot more of a rhythm with your combat when it comes to the animals. Let me think. I think they can also jump to, well, hopefully a lot of this stuff will just show itself when we get into it. Right, so how do you progress the story? Well, my favorite way of figuring out where to go is if you look up in the sky, and I'm going to wait for this because you've seen it already, this flock of birds, that is a great way to show you where you gotta go. Yeah, you follow the birds and they show you where to go. That's a fantastic way to progress the game. I think it's shown me just a little bit of inconsistencies here and there, but for the most part, it has gotten me to where I need to go. If you ever get particularly stuck, you can always pull out the map as well, but that's not really my favorite way to do it. Another thing I quite like about this level is once you're in long grass and the like, 'cause I don't know how often you get attacked, but sometimes you do get jumped by things that are around you and all that. Which does remind me of one thing. I think a lot of this is just going to be me bringing up things as I go, because showing it all off on screen is not going to be easy for me. Because one thing I think that's been a little bit of an issue in this game is how animals detect you. In fact, I think it's the same with like how regular dudes detect you as well. There's a lot of times where I've seen like dangerous dinosaurs just idling kind of nearby, just kind of standing there until I actively go and aggro them. There's a lot of things that's maybe a little bit too easy to avoid in this game, and I think they really need to find a way to amp up a bit more pressure, whether that is things detecting you from a little farther away, that sort of thing. And I really wouldn't mind if things like encounters, like maybe people patrolling the map a little bit more, maybe if things, maybe not respawned, but, or maybe if there was a reoccurrence of encounters throughout a map to make backtracking not too much of a downtime, if you know what I mean. I like the looting effect as well, where you can like just walk up to a body. That's the other thing, in fact. So interacting with things in this game is a little bit tedious as well, because they do the Far Cry thing where you got to hold down the button to interact with something rather than just tapping it. I think they got to change it to just tapping the button. I understand why in some cases they make they differentiate certain interactions with like tapping the button and then other interactions is holding it, and usually it's so you don't mix up or accidentally, for example, pick up a gun off the floor. I think they just got to reprioritize what you got to hold the button down for. Like for gathering things, which the animations for them are great, by the way. I'm super happy with like how you like reach over, pluck it out the thing, put it away. That's very good. I think what they gotta change it to is for most things you just tap the button, and then for maybe particular things like picking up a gun, maybe swapping out a gun, make that holding the button. That's fine. But for most things, there's no reason why accidentally clicking on it would be an issue. For example, looting corpses and things like that. Just making you tap on them. That's all. Let's see. So, and again, I think this is once again where navigating the map is a little bit confusing. So another way you can find your way around is you'll notice this little line in front of my little arrow here, and that also shows you where to go. Sometimes the birds that you follow don't quite follow the path properly. And I think they got to work on that a little bit. They got to work out some way to make the birds more consistent, because I love relying on them in a way that just feels more seamless. Because I don't always like reading maps and things like that. It's tedious a lot of the time. It's tedious. I think another thing as well, when it comes to navigating areas and trying to work things out. So let's take the bonfires, for example, which, by the way, when it comes to a lot of interactable objects, you'll find that they glow white, almost obnoxiously white, and always from a pretty far distance. When you switch it off, because you can, gameplay, interactable objects glow. It's fine for the most part, but sometimes it starts to make what you can interact with a little bit tricky to distinguish. I think what they need to do is make it that instead, well, for a start, don't highlight these things, because they're already a highlight in themselves. There's no point in highlighting the highlight. This is just an immersive way to highlight grabbable ledges. Then with things like the bonfires and that, I would really appreciate some easier way to find them, because you'll notice that they're already kind of like lit sort of thing, kind of like charred or whatever you call it. One way you could distinguish seeing them, because I'm kind of falling into the idea of the flock of birds that travel in the direction that you want to go in. You could make it that these things emit a very distinguished smoke trail into the sky. So instead of me having to pull out my map to see where they are, because you can figure out where they are, it would just be nice to read the environment to see where I want to go. And I think these are like just simple little changes that you can make. Just simple little things that really give your game that extra polish, you know. Because that's really all this game needs. It's just polish. Just polish, polish, polish. And then let me think. What else am I on about when it comes to like highlighting things? So, as much as I want to keep the highlight thing off, it's just a little bit of a pain, because then you can't really distinguish other important things. Like, one cool feature in this game, and I think I walked by one not too long ago. I'm not going to go out my way to find it if it's going to take too long. But you can find mud puddles in the game, and you can use them for camouflage, and that's also just another really good feature. Let's see. Because I think I came across one around here. Is that one? Here we go. There is no reason for you to distinguish that is a mud puddle that you can use to camouflage yourself outside of the highlighting system. So I don't mind the highlighting thing if they can make it less obnoxious. So if I switch it back on, because the Far Cry games do this in a much more natural way. Let's take a look. Right, okay. Is that it? There we go. Oh, and again, yeah, just another little example of jank going on here, where like we've got like awkward edges being highlighted along here as well. A lot of the game really needs to be just kind of run over again, as much of it as they can, so they can just try and fix a lot of the things that are just really grating on the eyes. But a way in which you could do this exact same thing is to not make it so obnoxiously white like this. Make it a lot more subtle. Not so subtle that like you have to squint your eyes to see it. You need to find that balance between highlighting it subtly, because I understand that some interactable objects in any game do need to be distinguished in order for the player to understand, oh, I can interact with that. It just, in this game, it's just got a bit of a problem with being really obnoxious when it highlights things. Get rid of the button prompt, keep the little blip, dim down the highlighting. You know what I mean? This is a lot of the reason why I just cannot cover this game for the main channel right now. I want to, because when I was looking for games to cover and games that were coming out, when I saw this was coming out, I was like, dude, this is the game I'm doing next. This is the one I want to do next. But I can't now, because it's not finished yet. When they get this in a position where it's actually finished, I will be more than happy to do a Cleverly Stupid Presents on this. I want to. It's so good when it shines. When it shines bright. It's just very, very specky. Very, very specky. And I think I'm about to show off another reason why. And again, bringing it back into attention, because you'll notice how I've been running around a bunch, and nothing's really happened yet. I really would not mind if they just kind of... because I don't know if respawning is specifically what I'm asking for here, but at least some kind of way, whether that is to like just generate random little simple encounters here and there throughout the environment, or something like that. I would like reoccurring combat scenarios. Not even like... not complex. Just something as simple as, say... like how Far Cry does it. Far Cry 3, it does a thing where sometimes you just see patrols. You'll just see like a group of like 3 or 4 people walking along a road or something like that. Maybe you'll have like just the random raptor or whatever just kind of skulking around in the grass and stuff like that. And then if you get too close, they'll jump out at you and things like that. Just things that just keep your mind engaged while you do the exploration part of the game. Because the exploration in of itself is good. It's perfectly fine. It's just that it's a little bit too dead. It's just a little bit too dead when you're doing things like backtracking and going back to things, but I said that already, you know. Because even when it comes to things like secrets and things like that, things like letters will help you out quite a bit, and I don't really like reading them much, but I'm not against the fact that they're there and they always give you tips on what to do if you want to get extra things in the game and stuff like that. A lot of what the game's going for is there. They've practically got it. If only they had just waited a bit to get the game in a finished state. Because even things like this, when you look at things like that, oh, it's really... it's too much. It's a bit too much. I would handle this with a little bit more of a, whatever you're looking at, the blip comes up. The only one blip for one thing that you can interact with. You know what I mean? Instead of this obnoxious little text thing, remove all of these white blips and make it that they only show up when you're looking at them and you're able to interact with them. That's how it should be done. Because and that's the thing. You'll see what I mean. Just like that, it's a lot of simple things that need polished up. Just simple things. Just a lot of little simple things. Anyone who is curious about this game should not write it off. Keep it in your radar and wait for it to be finished. Because I think the day will come. And if you really feel like you want to pick this up now, just know that you're in for a janky time. And if you can, here and there, whatever, just let the devs know things that you spot that you would like fixed, things that you'd maybe like tweaked, that kind of thing, to just make the game a lot more balanced. And yeah, just report a bug is all you gotta do. Click on that and it takes you to where you gotta go to let the devs know what's going on. They know the game is janky. They know it is. It makes me curious as to why it was released like this, because something's telling me that it wasn't exactly the team's idea to publish this now. I think something's telling me that maybe higher ups or something like that had a hand in this, and it just feels too. It feels too uncanny for it to just be they thought they were finished now. Because for another example. So you can drive mechs in this game, and that's the coolest idea ever. Do you want to see something? Assuming that this is still an issue, do you want to see something? Wait, no, they fixed it. Oh, they finally fixed it. Okay, which is good. This is this is better that this has happened. So before, when you would drive this thing, the chassis for the thing would absolutely spaz out when you drove this thing around. It was so disappointing. But now they've fixed it, which is actually just a relief, man, because this is one of their biggest features that you can do sometimes in the game. The fact that even that thing was broken, I knew something was just so wrong, man. But nah, they fixed it up now. That's great. Oh, I can look forward to using the mech now. And that's what I mean. The dev team are trying. They're hard at work. They're probably going through a hella shit time trying to fix this all up because their game is stuck in mixed. Folk are not too sure what to think of the game. Luckily, I've not actually seen too much hate go towards this game on YouTube. It's been a while since I've YouTubed this game, but folks seem to be quite reserved with speaking their thoughts on this game just yet, and I think I appreciate that because it means folks seem to not only understand what this game seems to be going through right now, but also that they seem to just have a little bit of empathy for the situation. I understand when people get frustrated when games released unfinished. It happens all the time. From AAA companies and things like that. And that's when where they're like, come on guys, you make money and money and money and money. Why the fuck are you guys doing this? Here it's a slightly different story. It's just a team of 5. It's probably their first game. And it's one hell of a valiant go at it. It's a valiant go at making a game like this. Right. I really gotta get a move on before I run out of things to say. And fuck it, like, if they can, I think it would be very helpful if they can make it a hell of a lot more obvious where it is they want them to, where they want the player to go. Just as long as they still find that balance of making it appear natural. Not realistic. Doesn't have to be that realistic. This is not really a realistic game. It's more of a believable one. It's a believable game. Not a lot of the stuff needs to make sense. It just needs to be good. There's a difference between being realistic and being good. Let's see. What's the objective I've got here? Oh, there you go. Right. Objectives. Clear the outpost. Oh no. Right, I'm just going to assume that I'm done here because... yeah, everyone here's dead. And if someone is alive, well, I'm sorry, but... nah. Because I really, really, really want to get to showing off what this game can do. I think what I also want to do is I want to show off a bit the first level as well, because that's a sound. I wonder how much I can turn this up without it catching into the microphone, because I really want to point out like things like what sound effects need worked on and things like that, because a lot of sound effects need work in this game. And even that, the animation of getting in and out of the mech is good. There's a lot of good animations in the game. It's just that there's this mix of janky ones as well. Oh, another little request is... oh, wait, unless... another little request I would have, specifically because of how big the levels are in this game. And I'm going to check to see if they haven't already sorted it, because they are working quite fast. I think they release a patch just about every other day to this game, just trying to get it steps and steps closer to what folk would like to see. Let's see, is it under gameplay? Under gameplay or something? Oh, well, that's the point, isn't it? So, what I would really appreciate is if you could toggle sprinting in the game. Right now, they've made it that you just hold the button down for sprinting, which is fine. It's just that, me personally, I would prefer a toggle, especially for a bigger world like this. Because if I'm spending so much time holding down a sprint key, I'm just going to get cramps. And yeah, no, I don't need that. I like my wrists thank you very much. Because sprinting is very much a must in this game. I also had like some things to say about the torch. So in the last patch, they broke the torch and you couldn't switch it on. So now they've patched it again, where the torch works now, which was very much needed because this is a very dark game. Oh, whoa. That's a velociraptor. Hello. So as you can see, the AI for those things is they sneak up on you, and once you put them under pressure, yeah, they back up, and that's great. These are probably my favorite animals in the game. And you'll see it. You'll see from the way they back up and they watch you as they're backing away and stuff like that. They're not too bad. And I think, yeah, it's the torch that they react a bit funky to. No, I shouldn't say that. It's the torch that they get a little bit repellent from. They don't seem to like direct light or something. Either that or it's when you're facing them. And it's when they know that they can't catch you with your pants down. But if I turn around... Yeah, no, they come up from behind you, and that's brilliant. I would also really like it, because you can skin animals in the game, but only certain ones. I think they should make these guys skinnable for something that you can use for crafting. Which brings me on to the next thing, crafting. Why not? Let's see, where's the crafting button? That's my swap button. That's also my swap button. Where's the crafting button? There we go. Another thing that I do like about, because before in the demo of this game, the crafting layout, the presentation of the crafting was a bit fucked. But now they've had it made a little more sense. I still think the obnoxious light on the bag needs to be turned down. Turn down the lighting on the bag a bit. But also, yeah, you can see whatever resources you got and all that. It's not too... And what's more important is so I've heard people criticize the crafting for being too simple, but I disagree. I am very relieved that the crafting is actually very simple to use. How it works is it just shows you what you can craft. And then anything you can't craft is kind of pushed down to the bottom of your craftables list. Now, I'm curious about one other thing. Yeah, no, they've still got this problem. So, one issue I have with the crafting is that they list things that you don't need to craft anymore. I think once you've crafted something that you cannot craft again, remove it. Remove it from the list completely. It doesn't need to be there. This applies to things like the bone knife. That's the thing that you craft at the beginning of the game and you never need to craft it again. Remove it. Remove it from the list, because it just creates clutter. Anything else? Same with the primary holster. Oh, wait, no. Wait, I can make another one? No, I can't. Yeah, precisely my point. The primary holster, once you've crafted all those, get rid of it. Make it so things you don't need to craft anymore don't show up on the list. I've also noticed, again, a little bit of jank here, where there's a lot of flicker on the list here. You know what I'm about to say. It's you know. So let's see, anything else I can craft? So yeah, crafting is simply, do you have the ingredients for it? You can just click on it and you craft it. There you go. I've got a senses potion. I don't know what that does, but that's kind of a part of the character progression. You gain a bit more ability from certain things that you craft, and it's permanent as well. Same goes for things like ammunition pouches and things like that, which reminds me, I'll craft a rifle pouch. I don't know how many of the ammo pouches you can craft, because I've crafted like maybe over 5 of them or something like that. I think what they got to do also, because I'm worried that they're making it that you can make your ammo cap go towards infinity or something like that. I think, even if there is a cap, narrow down how many pouches you need to craft. Maybe make it 1 or 2 for each type of weapon. Just do that, and then once you're done, remove it. You're done. That sort of thing. Because there's still things that you can repeatedly craft throughout the game. That's things like healing items and spears and different types of spears. You know what I mean? So there doesn't have to be so much of a focus on things like ammo pouches. Just make it that you gotta craft them once or twice, and then you're golden. You don't need to craft them again. Is there anything else I want to say about the crafting system? I don't know. Right, let's see. Oh, am I able to check from here? Inventory. Or is that just what ingredients I've got? Oh, no, here we go. So a heavy metal. So you can, it looks like you can craft a maximum of 4 of those, maybe? 4. Okay. Then in that case, I think I can let that off, because it just felt like there was like no end to it. But that was maybe because I was jumping between ammo things and stuff like that. So in that case, I'll leave that alone. Never mind. But definitely just make sure that once you're done crafting a thing, you know, holsters, knife, ammo pouches, blah, 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 remove it from the list. It's unnecessary clutter. Right. Anything else I want to say? No, not really. Fucking yeet. Otherwise, I'm quite happy with how the crafting works. Plenty happy. Let's see then, so it looks like I'm going in the right direction. The birds say no, but... well... birds don't know what they're talking about. I'm probably not really going to finish this level anyway. I really just... hello? What's that? Interesting. That looks like a relic or something. Yeah, I really just want to show off all of the necessary things about this game. I definitely... oh, there we go. Oh, here we go. Yeah, you see how they're circling around me and all that kind of stuff? I think they're jumping up and down here and there, hiding in the shadows. There's crowds of them as well. Oh, and we got people shooting at us too. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's what we want. So the type of combat this is very Far Cry. It's all about guerrilla tactics. And I especially love the idea that animals and people can get mixed up in combat scenarios. It's just that it's janky because they're not always the best at combating one another. But let's see. That could be tweaked up by now. Yeah, because now our boys can actually kill animals. Before, it was they had no idea how to fight anything, and they would just get chomped by things for no reason. But now it looks like the human AI know how to take care of wildlife and things like that. Another thing that I like that I've seen people complain about is the fact that they have like these antennas with glowing red lights on them, but I'm perfectly fine with that. I love that, especially because they're antennas rather than highlighting the head, so it still means you got to put in the effort to distinguish where heads are so you can get a headshot in and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if they respond to the flashlight still. Yeah, I feel like they should really know where you are if you shine a flashlight on them. Yeah, no, because that's too easy. Another thing that I really want them to brush up on is, oh, well, for one, detection meters. They look a bit too basic. Tweak them up a bit. Again, a lot of the HUD elements in this game are really cheap. You know what I'm a little let down by is when you go to check for your ammo in the demo, they had a great text font for checking your ammunition. There we go, I can speak. They made it look like this more slanted and holographic, almost Crisis style ammo counter, and I wish they never got rid of that because now it's just default font. They've got to change that, man. And get rid of the bloomin' text along the bottom of the screen, for God's sake. For God's sake. And another thing that I really want to brush up on, don't worry, I'm not criticizing because I hate the game, I'm criticizing because I love it and I want it to be what it deserves to be, okay? Please, don't give up on this game, like. Anyway. I love takedowns in games, okay? And the animations for these takedowns are alright, bro. They're good. You know what I mean? But the sound effects for them are whimpery, bro. You gotta make a more exaggerated plunging noise when you go and jag a knife into them and that kind of stuff. Another issue I have with the takedown system is that it's too easy to get takedowns. Now, this wasn't a good example, but if I'm to just explain it, if you are seen in the open from miles away and you run up to a guy who's opening fire on you, you can just take them down. It's too easy. You got to make it that takedowns are strictly a stealth thing. Please, please, please. Because it's what kind of forces you to do different approaches, that kind of thing. If you see an advantage where someone's got their back turned towards you and they're not sure where you are, then you can do a takedown. Maybe a thing that I like about Far Cry, now I'm not sure if this team will specifically be able to do it, but in Far Cry, they do a thing where if you surprise them, if you catch them off guard and they see you right there, there's still this brief little window of them being like, oh my god! And you can still take them down while they're in that little moment of realization. That's fine. But when you make it that you can just press the takedown button on anybody, you're kind of leaving it open to be abused. Because it's too easy to abuse. You want to make it that if you're in a tight spot, you force the player back into cover and into hiding because they can't do takedowns. Pushing cover combat and all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, and there's healing in the game. The bandages look a bit weird, but I'm fine with it. Oh, no. That's what I want back. Yeah, because I get a lot of this is too much. It's too much to look at. All the blips, all the bloomin' blah, all the blah. You gotta fix that. I'll say it again. Blip when you can interact with it. Tone down the obnoxious highlighting a bit. Tone it right down. Right down. Make it that it only activates when you get near an interactable object. Because it does already exist in the game. It already does. It's just that I'm ages away. Oh, well, actually, yeah, it's already doing it now. It fades out as I go farther away. But when I'm standing here, that's way too far away. Make it kick in when maybe I'm around this distance from interactable things. Because when you see, like, all of that right in the distance now, it draws away from your immersive aspect of the game. Tweak it up a bit. And I think this is a part of why I find this so easy to criticize is, once again, just because they're simple little things. They're just simple little things that need tuned up. That's all. I'm not even mad about it. These are all perfectly fixable things. Again, it's just that there's quite a lot of them. So it's probably going to take quite a bit of time. Especially of a game of this size. Oh, I'm on edge there. Oh, wait, I think I saw. Oh, there's bristling in the grass and that. So here we go. This is a fantastic moment in this game. And it's all happening on its own. That grass over there is bristling. Because there's something that's going to kill me in there. You see that? And it jumps out at me and everything. There are still great moments in this game. And it's why I want it to be more reoccurrent. I want to be kept on my toes a lot more. Rather than just in new places. Go on, let's cover ourselves in mud. Because even with the wacky state this game is in, even like a bit of the performance optimization in this game really needs some work. Oh, yeah. I'm still just kind of having a blast with it. No, I'm having a blast with it. I'm glad to have this game. I've been craving a game like this for years. I've been craving a game like this ever since Far Cry Primal. And that was back in like 2015, 2016 or something. The game gets me giddy. And here we go. See, this is another one of those examples of like, I don't think this thing's detected me, and it really should have. And this happens a lot. It's like the AI is giving me way too much of a chance. It reminds me of the difficulty options in this game as well. I'm playing on the hardest difficulty. And even that is just a bit too easy. It's bordering on like a bit of challenge where it starts forcing me to engage with the mechanics. But any lower than that, it's too easy. You've got to readjust the difficulties in this game. This feels like I'm playing on... let's see, is it gameplay? Gameplay? This feels like I'm playing on easy. And easy is a fucking joke, man. And then normal ain't nothing. Hard barely ain't nothing. Nightmare. Anyone who picks up this game, you've got to put it on Nightmare, because that's where the game only kind of starts to actually push you to use the mechanics. Yeah, they need to rejumble that. They got to make it so Nightmare is actually fucking difficult. Let's see. Oh, and then now that I'm looking at it, so yeah, so the save system in this game is also a fantastic idea. But there's a criticism that people have of it that I think is perfectly valid, actually. So, when you die, you respawn at whatever bonfire that you last saved at. That was the last time that you saved the game. That's fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. My issue is, it's too easy to maintain your saves. And the reason for that is, if I use the map for an example... Because let me think. I'm not too sure how far away that is, but if you look up at where my mouse is here, the bonfires are far too plentiful. They're way too plentiful. I would say if it was up to me and I was looking at this map, for example, I'd make it like, okay, so we've got a bonfire here. Let's make it that we don't see another bonfire until maybe this one over here, and then maybe this one over here. Get rid of that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, blah, 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 blah. Space them out. Far and fewer between. You know what I mean? Which is quite interesting, because it goes back to what I was saying earlier. I think a lot of what this game needs to be improved is just by removing a bunch of things that don't really need to be there. Things that might make the job surprisingly a little easier than what is anticipated. Let's see, where am I going now? Do I really have to go back to the shelter? So there must be some guy over there who's like stuck underneath the map or something that I can't find. Oh boy, yeah, no, this game needs a lot of work. And it's just a shame, because the game is actually good. If they can just get it to really work properly. The water in this game is unlike anything I've ever seen. So here it's not really apparent. But I think that's why I want to go back to it. Because, like, yeah, when you jump into the water, it bristles wonderfully. It's great. Let's see. I think going... Oh, no. And there's another example. It's like, beneath the water surface is a water surface. A lot of the map needs to be looked at, because when you do actually go underwater, yeah, no, it's very convincing. Oh my god. Dude, I catch creeps when I'm under the water, man. I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a giant shark in this game somewhere. There is one level actually based around swampy water where there are actually like giant crocodile-like things, weird dinosaur crocodile things that can attack you, and I think they can also attack the wildlife as well. And they're great mechanic. Oh, every level I've played so far has a great concept to them. The first level has a great emphasis on being on the shore with waves and things like that. There's one puzzle in the game that requires you to use the dynamic waves to traverse one part of the level, and I love it so much. It's amazing. You've got to see it. Oh, you've got to see it. The second level, as I explained, is all about a sort of marshland, like a swampy area, and navigating unclear waters where there's like, it's great. And then this area is all about nighttime. It's so nocturnal. It's about big open fields of long grass where things can jump out at you and stuff like that. Every level I've experienced so far has a fantastic concept to them. This is why I am so determined to see this game achieve what it wants to be. Because it's too good an idea. It is too good an idea to miss out on. I'm going to turn the brightness back down again, by the way, because the torch is back and all of that. I think, let's see, what do I think of the torch? Because before, I felt like the torch was a bit too narrow. And another thing I don't like about the torch is that it gets too bright when you go near things. And it doesn't help when you're trying to loot things in the dark. Since I'm looking at it, another thing. Another feature that I like is the crafting bench. There's one issue that I've spotted with it though, and I'm going to see if they've fixed this. It's the precision scope. You can't put a precision scope on anything, no matter how hard I try. You can put a red dot, you can put nothing on, but with the precision scope, let's see, what is it? Because it says you have to hold the reload button to exit. Oh, I think they fixed it. Let's see, do I still have my shotgun on me? Like, it's ridiculous, but I hope I can still do it. Please let it... Oh, yes! Okay. Never mind, they fixed it. Awesome. Again, they are working profusely to fix the game. I have faith in them. And I think they could just use a little bit of that encouragement as well, because something's telling me that they're just they're just going through hell right now. Trying to achieve this game that they really wanted to make all this time. Because they've been working on this for such a long time as well. It's probably been around 5 years or something like that, maybe longer. Well, I don't know. I'll assume it's been maybe about 5 years. Maybe a little longer, because I think this was maybe announced around 2019 or something like that. I'm not sure. They've been playing around with concepts for this for a very long time until they finally figured out what kind of structure they wanted it to take. And the structure for it is great also. Anyone who I've not seen anyone complain about it not being an open world game, but anyone who is, they gotta shut the fuck up, man. So yeah, maybe like an adjustment to the torch as well could be to make it that it doesn't get so bright whenever you get it. I know it makes sense for a torch, like if you bring it close to a thing, blah, 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 but it just doesn't help when I'm wanting to loot things. Well, kind of, sort of. Thing is, it's more because I don't know. Maybe I'll go back on that one just a little bit. The reason is because, again, I'm just not a fan of how obnoxiously bright the highlighting is, so I usually turn it off. But when I turn it off and I use the torch and I'm looking around for things, it's so difficult to see things properly because the torch gets too bright. they really just got to fix the HUD elements, and maybe that will just make it a little more bearable. Then with the torch, so I can't tell, but I think they might have widened the circumference of the torch, because it seems I've been having a little easier time just seeing where I'm going a little bit. I would widen the torch radius a little bit. Maybe to the point of, like... Yeah, let me think. As far as I would make the radius maybe a little more... about what I'm doing with my mouse there. Yeah, about that size, just so it's not so squinty having to see where you're going when you get into dark areas, because there's a lot of dark areas in this game. And because I want to leave the game's brightness on its default setting, because I love the colors, the way that the colors kind of come out when you do that. It's just that it's a little awkward sometimes when you're relying on a bit of an awkward torch, trying to see where you're going all the time. Is there anything else? Anything else? Let's see that. I'm glad that I can put a scope on a shotgun now. That's great. Probably going to make things a little wild for me, but I'll make it work. At least I got it on my assault rifle, because I've been wanting to use this scope for ages. So I'm wondering if there's anything else I really want to show off just now. And don't worry, I cut out all the boring, the most boring parts where I have nothing to say in a video, so... what I'm saying right now, you're probably not going to hear. Unless you do. How are you doing today? I'm stressed. I'm trying to get my bloomin' channel promoted. And it's so difficult to do that right now, with like all these algorithms on YouTube and stuff like that. I've been trying to promote it manually by myself for way too long, and it's been driving me absolutely insane. So I'm kind of I'm trying to look for another way to get my channel, all of my YouTube channel videos promoted without me having to manually do it. Just so I can focus on getting back into editing. Oh, that reminds me, actually, because I've been taking a big break from the main channel is the thing. I'm not going to pick it up again until January. I might have said this before, but the reason is it's just been really stressful doing the main channel stuff with all this pressure of trying to get the channel properly noticed. And I think the way I've been handling it has not only been stressful as fuck, but I'm worried that I might be sinking the channel into dead territory. Because I know YouTube does that sometimes when it doesn't like the analytics your channel is getting, so it decides it's just gonna remove you from the current. And I really hope that's not what's happened, because oh my god. The amount of work that I have put into those videos will break me if it turns out it was all for nothing. So that is why I'm going to try and look into a more reliable way to get just clips of the channel or something just spread around throughout multiple platforms without me having to dedicate so much time to doing it and trying to figure out what the fucking system is and all that kind of stuff with YouTube and all that. Twitter's a nightmare as well. The only platform that's been remotely helping me out is Blue Sky. And even then, it's not enough. If I want that channel to get big one day, and I want to make it a proper job of mine to find good games and promote them to people and just make people laugh while doing it, I need to find an easier way to promote it. Right, it's telling me I can interact with this, but it doesn't look like it. Yeah, I might be stuck or something. Yeah, because it keeps telling me to go to the outpost and clear it. Okay. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this level here because I really want to show off the first level because it makes an amazing first impression. And it highlights a lot of the state that the game is in as well, which I think is very important. Oh dear. It might be stuck. Yeah, because again, this is a very unfinished product, man. It's a shame because I was skeptical as soon as they released their release date trailer, because when people took a look at the beta for the game a little while before the trailer, it was in a janky state, but it was fine because, like, obviously the game's in beta and they're there just like blah, 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 blah. It looked like they could use maybe like a year longer or something just to make sure everything was polished up. Maybe they took some player feedback and made some changes according to all that and stuff and things. Then, like, not like one or 2 weeks later, they gave us a trailer showing off the game. Looks great, but then they gave us a release date, being like, "Yeah, this is coming out in under a month." And I was there, like, "Are you sure? Are you sure you guys can fix all of this up in just 4 weeks?" I was so like, this can't be right. It's like my alarm bells were going off from the very moment we got that release date, man. And then when they announced before the game came out as well, they said they were going to keep on working on it when it came out. And I was there like, that's great, but like, are you sure the game's like almost done? That's a little bit like, you guys are going to need more time than that. They should have released the game in early access. Then you wouldn't leave yourself open to people being stupid and laying into you because the game's not finished. Because it's at that point you've kind of shot yourself in the foot. You have called this. You have officially called this a finished product. When all you should have done was go, this is an early access product. We're just polishing the thing up for the time being until we feel like we're done. Which, again, I do wonder if the reason for this is because of what maybe Tiny Build Games told them to do or something. Do this one. Because I'm telling you, there's this one specific part of the game that really just... It told me this game knows... It told me this game is so got it. It's just that it needs to be tweaked up. And the dev team know it. You better believe they bloomin' know it. They knew it before this game came out. God damn it. It's my last try because I don't want to spend too long doing this. I want to spend some time chilling. Because I think I've covered all of the major things that I want to see this game improve on. I haven't showed off much of like the sound effects in that, but there's so many sound effects that are too quiet. A lot of the animals are too quiet. Receiving damage is a bit too quiet as well. And it's funny because it's just the sound effects. Maybe if there was more of a thing where if you take damage, the character staggers a little bit, the camera judders or something like that, really make me feel like I'm taking damage and things like that. Story. Fine, I'm gonna start a new game. I'll start a new game. This game has got me going off so much that it's actually starting to make my voice go croaky. That's crazy. Fuck it. Fine. Because for what it's worth, the opening's actually alright. Even though, like, the characters themselves, they're too nice. They're too nice. They're too soft. They're too softly spoken, all of the characters. They don't suit the situation that they're in.
Minton, brother, wake up.
The voice acting itself is just a little bit...
It was just a nightmare.
What if something happens out here? No one will come looking for people like us.
Brother, look up. What do you see?
Darkness?
It's the constellation of the dragon.
I don't see it.
It's funny because I don't hate it.
Right.
I don't hate this opening. It's just that the voice acting, the conversation is a little bit too nice, a bit too soft.
All sorts of things.
We have to believe in something. And that belief, it's what carried us through, you know.
It's a bit too
What got us
Disney
out?
princess, if you know what I
We
mean.
were just lucky.
Dad used to say, follow the dragon.
But there's not much they can really do
Brings
about
good
that now.
fortune.
I wouldn't ask them to
Keep us-
change the story.
It will guide
That's
us to a
too much
place
work.
where we can finally live in peace.
A new home?
A new home.
I think of like these two characters because like the main story is your brother disappears and you gotta go find him, sort of thing. A for effort, though. Oh, spooky big fish, bro. That'd be freaking me out to fuck if this was an actual gameplay moment. There's a big fucking swimming thing coming at me. Right, well, for what it's worth, I do get to show this bit off because I am so impressed. Oh, I am so impressed with this game's water.
Brother? Minton? Where the fuck?
So first things first, let me show you how awesome this water is. Notice how it's just like things that are floating on top of it, whooshes and things like that. Now, the frames I'm getting are a bit awkward right now, but that is just because I'm recording. When I'm running this game on its own, this actually runs over 60 frames per second like nothing, and I'm so impressed by it. Getting submerged under the water is convincing. That things that are floating around and everything. Gah! Wait, is that a thing in the wood? Is that just a log? It's just a log. This water makes me believe it. And it's not just here. Like, this level, the first level takes full advantage of the water physics. I am so impressed by this. I've not seen anything like it. I've seen pretty looking water, but I've not seen dynamic water that looks as gorgeous as this. Like the foam and all that kind of stuff. This was the first thing I did as soon as I started running this game. Even though things like the geometry will like just disappear. Again, they got, oh my god. They gotta have another look over some of this stuff and just kind of patch it up a bit. There was one point in the game, because I was a curious cat and I was too into exploring the areas, I basically went cave diving in this game. It's not an actual feature in this game. It's just because of the way the levels are built. There's gaps in some of the mountains to the point where you can like go into them and get yourself stuck in there. But again, a lot of that is just because I put myself in that situation. But it still goes to prove, even like when I'm looking at like little bits here, there's a lot of little bits everywhere that just need some kind of touch up, and I can't imagine how much work that'll take to do. But you'll notice that the way the water's hugging the little crevices of the area and stuff, and it actually waves down over to the shore and stuff. It's so good. This is an indie project. How did they do that? I can't stay away from the water. It's so good. Which is a shame, because when you do get way into looking at everything, now here it's actually fine. But there are some bits where you'll like see in the distance just just like bits of like the water, the waves clipping off somewhere and things like that, if you look way too far out into it. And even when you go and swim in it and the like, it pulls you along, it sways you around. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And I really want to show off like all of the different ways that they take advantage of this as well. I won't be able to cover all of it, but I'll cover the essentials, because like, oh my god. You can tell that the people behind this do care. It's just that, yeah, they're a small team. They're not the most professional team. They don't have to be. Because a lot of what they have gotten across, you see that as a little creepy little crab like wriggly wiggling through all the mulch and stuff like that, the seaweed. All of like the seaweed actually parts as well, and it jiggles as you move through it and stuff. It floats up and down in the water. I can't get over it. I'm playing with it all the goddamn time. Right. Then when I finally decided, okay, it's time to move on. Oh my god. And even little bits like this, like a dead guy with like creepy crawlies just skimmering all over it. There's so many moments like this of just things that you can admire in the game. Even some little like cutscenes like this and that, they look good. Well, cutscene, I'm not sure if cutscene is the word, but yeah, just little bits and things. More just little like creepy crawly things in the sand and stuff like that. It's just great. Of course, if you squint at it all, you'll see like the cracks and all that, but every game's got that. Every game has got that. It just sets me off. So I might not be able to get to the bit that I'm looking for. Yeah, no, the torch has definitely got to be wider when it comes to dark areas and stuff.
Who's that you?
I got stranded. There was a crash. I don't even know where we are.
We can make you talk in different ways.
Who are these people?
Keep listening.
Are they military?
Search the area, find them all.
I wonder, because I don't know how passionate the dev team are about the story they're telling. I wonder if one way to fix it would to be to make it a silent story. It's a bold suggestion, I know. But what if you just removed all the voice acting? Say from maybe like the occasional soldier guy, like spouting military things and stuff like that. But if you made this a silent story that was left up to the player's interpretation, and it wouldn't be that deep, but it would still at least kind of draw you in, even if there's no direct meaning behind it. It would be one hell of a vibe. Because it has those moments. In fact, I think you can even just, yeah, so you know what? You could probably ignore me, because this is probably, when it comes to me, because I was only keeping it on for the bit, just because it's important to show it off, I think. But I think when it comes to me playing this in my spare time, I'm just going to keep the voices off. Because it creates a hell of a lot more of a... It draws me in a lot more, sort of thing. Maybe I shouldn't have said... it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter too much. There we go. Right, so bone knife. Like I said, it's the first thing you craft in the game. And then they should have made it that you just don't need it anymore. Or it doesn't show up anymore in the list. Yeah, because there it still is. And it's still got the little loading bar saying, oh, you got this many resources before you can craft it. Get rid of it. Doesn't need to be there anymore. Right. I'm going to move through this as fast as I can. Because what I absolutely have to show off is the outpost combat. The earlier outposts are a bit easy. Just a bit too easy. But later on, maybe in the second level. The second level is when the outposts really start to make you work for it quite a bit. Because I was worried that combat encounters just wouldn't really last long enough. Because a lot of the time they end quite abruptly, and I'm there like, oh no, that can't be all. These are the big crabs that I'm talking about, and this is how they move. They're quite slow, you can outrun them. Oh, I love their little creepy crawly legs as well. And then they do a little like jump at you and stuff like that. And then, yeah, no, they have this neat little rule where, like, if you shoot their bodies, they don't react to it whatsoever. Well, they should make it that maybe they flinch or something that makes sense. I think what they did is that if you shoot the shells, their body shells, sparks come flying off of them, and it's a little bit confusing It's a little bit confusing what that means. The thing that they're trying to convey is that their body armored shells are impenetrable. You cannot kill them that way. And that's fine. That's a perfectly fine rule. It's just that they make it a little bit complicated to understand that. And we'll hopefully get around to that. I'd also make it that, like, again, if there's some, like, more pronounced sound effect of them, like, crawling and things like that, just things to really make things sound, to make things feel like they exist in front of you. More things need more pronounced sound effects. Louder sound effects. And again, you can see how, like, the water refractions are rippling off of the caves, walls, and things like that. There's so much to commend about this game's visuals. I love it. Oh, I love it so much. And hopefully we'll come across my least favorite animal in the game as well. Oh, here we go. Right. We won't be using as advanced weapons or anything like that. I think most of the early game is just pistols and that. I think you can find shotguns as well, maybe. Spears in this game are pretty good as well, because they're great for using silenced ranged weapons, because you can throw them kind of like how you can throw spears in Far Cry Primal. Or for the OGs out there, yeah, it's like the old King Kong game for the PlayStation 2, because that's definitely what this game takes inspiration from as well. The old King Kong game for the PlayStation 2. I've got to play through that game, actually. That will probably be the game that tides me over while I wait for this game to properly finish. Here we go, got our pistol. Yeah, no, they definitely got to spruce up that ammo counter, man. I just love that animation as well. The gun animations are stellar. You know what I mean? Fiddly little things. Oh, character. Yeah, no, it's so good. Even the way that he holds the gun kind of tilted like that as well. Oh my god. There's such a unique personality to the combat as well, because combat in this game is not... The combat is intentionally messy. It's not always easy to tell when you've got a hit on somebody. And they do that on purpose. That's the point. You're supposed to feel like you're really kind of scraping by. A lot of it is intentional, like, guesswork of landing your shots and where you think you're gonna hit somebody. It's tough to distinguish where people's bodies are and things like that. So what can you use against that? You can use your movement and relocate. Go on. There you go. You can still land precise shots and things like that, but it's tough. It's tough in a good way. Come on. Thank you. There's lots of moments when you'll... Well, one thing that I think also needs to be adjusted with this combat is I think you have too much health in this game. it takes a little too long for people to gun you down. I understand that they're probably trying to balance that out with the save system. Because right now I'm just being unnecessarily clumsy, so that's why I'm running low on hit. Oh yeah, and things like trees can fall down and all that. Things can like shatter. Oh, the sound of glass breaking is brilliant in this game. When things start breaking and flying apart, and oh. I would like it where if you do take a gunshot, it staggers you. It staggers the screen or something like that. There's a lot of things in this game, just basic things in this game that need to be more pronounced. That's one of the big things that I really want to make obvious, clear. Make things more pronounced. Sound effects. Simple little things, making the screen judder a bit when you take damage or something. Make the takedowns sound vicious, man. Go all out. Do it, bro. Don't let nothing for nobody, no one hold you back, bro. That made sense, didn't it? Fuck it, I'll make a spear as well. There we go. Maybe a med kit as well, actually. Bandages or whatever. There you go, and that's how simple the crafting is. There's been some great moments, very rare, but a couple moments where like I've been under so much pressure that I've had to go seek cover, pull up my crafting thing, and as quickly as I can craft body armor so I can survive the encounter a little better. I love when that happens. I really want the combat to put you under more pressure, because that's what they're going for. That's what this game's combat system thrives off. That feeling of survival, of desperation, of guesswork. Yeah, dude, yeah, whatever. I'll use like one spear on one guy just so I can show it off. Go. Is that the guy over there? So there you go, you can ready it, and again, the sound for that needs to be more pronounced. Make it more thwunky. You know what I mean? Oh, see, because that's pretty good. They seem... Since my last time playing this game, it looks like they have kind of upped the pressure that the AI put you under. Because you'll notice how that one of them threw a grenade in my direction to try and flush me out. Yeah, because they're skimming off of me a little bit more, which is good. You can't always rely on headshots. You can't always rely on one spot. You've got to be on the move. So it does look like, once again, they have been improving the combat bit by bit, because when I first played this section in the game, it was too easy. Oh, hiya. Go on. Headshot. Yeah, I feel like I should have been in a much more deathly situation there while I was healing. Because I do think the AI still take a little too much time to push you. There's one game that I've got that is fantastic for this kind of general combat. Maybe not like the takedown aspect of it, nor the stealth aspect of it. But there's a game I've got called Sulaco, which is absolutely incredible when it comes to this sort of thing. Oh wait, is that a submachine gun? Oh, hell yeah. No, that'll do. That'll sum this up perfectly. Another thing I would appreciate is if they stop showing okay, so I'm bleeding right now. And that's great. I love that stuff like that happens. Sometimes if you swim in swampy waters as well, you'll catch a leech and you'll start slowly losing health. But the way they convey it is terrible. Don't make it text at the bottom of the screen. Make it that maybe an effect starts to seep in around the edges of the screen or something, and you start throbbing red and you're bleeding, and make it there's like this that kind of sound with the character or something. Find other ways rather than just spelling it out to you. Especially when you want a game that doesn't rely on a HUD. Oh, hiya. Oh, my frames are dying. My frames are dying. Again, this is just because I'm recording, so it's a bit fucked. I wonder, maybe what I could do. Isn't this like all on ultra? Yeah. Switch you off. Let's turn you guys down to high. Is there anything else that I can... Oh, hold on. DLSS, do a bit of that. And hopefully that will kind of rein us back in. There you go. There you go. It's a little one. It's still a little bit, but this will do. There are some moments in the game that are just incredibly, terribly optimized, but these parts of the game, again, this is just because I'm recording, but I have not come across one issue in the first level when it comes to performance. I was so shocked. I couldn't believe how smooth this game was running. But I would say, I think if I'm remembering right, I think it's one of the outposts in the second level, one of the bigger outposts where the performance just goes out the window. And it's the same with the third level as well. Some of the bigger outposts just tank your frames. I want guns to degrade a bit faster because I still haven't seen one gun jam in this game yet. It got to a point where I was actively not cleaning my guns, and it still takes a very long time for guns to degrade. I just want the game to put me under that kind of stress and pressure a bit more. Moments where I'm there like, oh shit, my gun just jammed. Oh shit, I'm low on ammo. Oh shit, gotta heal myself. Oh shit, they're closing in. Blah blah blah. Okay, so is this the next bit that's introducing me to the dinosaurs here? So I'm going to see how these guys behave, because these guys are my least favorite animal in the game. And you're going to see why. Provided that they haven't, like, changed a bit. First off, this guy should know where I am by now, but he doesn't. Yeah, now he knows where I am. And this is how they attack you. They just spam you. And not only that, they're obnoxiously quiet as well. They don't make... You can hear them make... Basically... Sound effects, sound effects, sound effects is what this game needs. If you want your animals to seem a bit more intimidating, give them noises, bro. I was worried that this is what all of the AI was going to be like, but thankfully it's not. Because once you meet velociraptors, the game changes. It's so good. But with these little guys, you've got to change how they behave. Because they're spammy. They're too spammy. has this sent me back? Because I forgot to save in that. Right. Yeah, they're not intimidating. They're not interesting. They're not anything, bro. They're a bit pathetic. They're just pathetic and spammy. And if I'm to redo this little combat thing, I'm gonna test something because I'm still quite convinced that you can just spam the takedown, which they do need to fix. It's too easy to take people down, even when they see you, I think. Yeah, no, you can just run up to them and stab them. Yeah, you've got to change it that you cannot take them down once they have clear sight of you. Because I think just like that, yeah, no, the combat thing's over. And that is significantly less interesting than what you saw me doing earlier. They've got to fix that. Because as much as I absolutely love takedowns in the game, I don't want them to be that easy. Which ammo have I got? Just one magazine. One magazine on backup. There we go. That's what I should have done before. Yeah, there's so many wonky, janky bits that just don't make sense. Yeah, and killing them is just a bit too simple as well. You've got to make it that you can scare them off a bit with gunshots or something. Something that gets them to give you some space. Especially when they crowd up all into a little bunch and they're all just homing in on you brainlessly. It just makes for way too janky an experience. You've got to make them different somehow. They don't have to behave like velociraptors. Just don't make them behave like homing missiles that can barely detect you when you're clearly out in the open. You know what I mean? You should have spotted me ages ago. You know what I mean? Like, come on. There we go. So it looks like they only see you when you're directly in front of them. They're animals. They should have a sense of smell sort of thing. They should be able to know when you're nearby. Then maybe when it comes to the human enemies, probably make it that they can hear you a little easier. Make it that maybe they have a wider field of view or something, because they're way too easy to just run up to as well, and they barely know what's going on. Yeah, in this game's case, don't be afraid to make this just a little more pressing. This is just a little bit. It's just a little bit. I don't mind like their health bar, like how easy it is to like just gun them down. I shouldn't actually criticize them for that. It's just their AI behavior. It is. Oh, it's a terrible first impression. But again, I know they can do it. Simply because we've seen it. The crabs work perfectly fine. The velociraptors are my favorite. And then there's like the various other creatures that are a little more... They're kind of a different whole thing. But yeah, it's luckily, it's just these guys. It's just these guys I've got a problem with. Which again, lets me put my hand on my heart and be like, okay, it's all right. It's just one thing. It's just one creature that really needs a change up. Wait, is this the place that I want to show off? Ooh, not quite. But that's where I want to go anyway. Oh, yeah, let's go down there. Oh, we got the rope here as well. See, here's the thing. In the demo of this game... Oh, you can climb up this a little quicker as well. Yeah, I think they sped this up. This is what climbing the ladders needs to be like. Just sliding up and down it like that. Because I've noticed that the hands there are there. But they did a clever little thing where like they made it that the camera doesn't look at them much. Because in the demo, when you looked at it, it was the jankiest looking thing. Seeing that the hands do their thing. But the thing that I would change about the rope... Just... remove the limbs. Just make it that it's just you and the rope, so then you get to look down, because you can't look down on the rope. And I think if they just removed the arms and the legs or whatever and just made it so you can look down, problem solved. No one will be complaining about that. No one in their right mind would be complaining about that. Because it's perfect. It's perfect when you're looking up. Oh, and again with that water, man. Yeah, hopefully we can get to that bit that I'm talking about. It might be closer than I think. Than I realize. Yeah, because again, these guys are just a little bit too... Well, it is, I mean, like, I'm crouched and all that. But what if... Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Yeah, the behaviors are there. It's just that they've got to tweak when it happens. I want to see these guys be a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Efficient at what they're supposed to do. Let's see, I doubt I can get a headshot from all the way over here, but... Yeah, because, like, this guy should really be stressing me out. But he's not. He's just a little bit too easy to pick off while he knows where I am. I would make it a little bit more of, if they know where you are, allow them to just kind of wriggle you with bullets a bit. Not too much, of course. But they're just definitely not doing it enough. They're not stressing you out with bullets enough. Oh, shit. Right. We'll go around the other direction. I appreciate that there's dynamic music as well. I'm not too keen on the tracks, they're not my favorite, but I do appreciate that there is dynamic music. Dynamic music in anything always helps. Lets you know in this game when you're in danger. When you're in a combat encounter and all that, and it escalates and de-escalates according to the situation. There we go. I appreciate that I can't go out there. There's too many of them, sort of thing. Again, please get rid of that bottom screen text, man. Replace it with something else. Right, I've not been doing my looting much. So I will need to... Oh, have you got like a shotgun? Oh, get me a shotgun if you got one. Absolutely, I'll take a shotgun. The shotgun. Wait till I show you the shotgun, like. I can just line up a shot on... Ah, fuck. Looks like their melee attacks are a bit more aggressive. But again, you've got to make it that if they hit you with a melee attack, you hear like a... whatever, just make a noise when they're attacking you. You know what I mean? Too much of it feels empty because there's no sound effects. I think what I'll do though, because I doubt I'm gonna get. I don't want to spend too much more time on this. I think after that outpost that I got to there, oh, and that's another thing that's like, so the melee sound is. I'm sorry, but it's a bit pathetic. Pick something more hefty. Something more thwunk. I'm making all kinds of sound effects myself. Yo, I'll do your sound effects for you. I was about to say, because the gun sounds are perfect, except for one gun. I think it's the sniper rifle that I'm not happy with. That gun's got to have more of a clack to it. More of a pow to it or something. That's what today's episode is about, sound effects. You know what you get when you don't use enough sound effects? Your game feels a bit hollow when you're playing it. Sound effects. It's one of the most dire things this game needs. Do I still have my pistol? How many bullets have I got in there? Plenty. And again, make it so I can skin these guys for something. There's one feature in this game that I'm not actually too keen on. It's that you can control some dinosaurs, and these are one of the guys that you can control. And I don't know, man. I prefer to play without it. There's some bits in the game that require you to use it for puzzles and stuff, but for the most part, I kind of avoid it. People have said it's like the most interesting feature in this game. It's like, I'm fine without it. I prefer to adapt to the wildlife in a purist way, but maybe that's just me. I'm not going to be too much of a dictator about it. Yeah, nah, these guys are spammy, like, yeah, nah, they're really, really, really spammy. You've got to fix that up somehow. How I would do it is, if they catch a bullet or two, they run off, and then they come back and try their luck again, basically. Make them pathetic in a fun way, you know what I mean? Make them these scraggly little guys where, like, they'll come up to you thinking they're all big and shit, but then once they catch a bullet, they run off cowering for like a good 10-15 seconds or something, and then eventually they will like just kind of maybe like come running back or something like that. Maybe they circle around you or something like that. Maybe they catch a bullet and they start like bobbing and weaving and backing up and blah blah blah. They dart around the place and things. Make them behave a bit more like that. Because what I described before, that it was more like the Raptors thing, where like they'll come at you, and if you face them and get some bullets into them, they back off and try their chance some from a different angle and try and get behind you. And I love that dynamic about them. With these little guys, I think to distinguish them from the Raptors, you could make it so they're more about darting about the place. They bob and weave and shit like that. In fact, what you could do is, instead of them spamming at you, you could make it that they bob and weave as much as they can, and then they'll try and get cheeky little bites out of you. So they'll they'll run at you and get one bite out of you and then run off, like cheeky little fuckers sort of thing. I think that's how you should make them behave. They'll try and take little cheap shots at you instead of just spamming at you all the time. Right. Try and get past this bit. I think the spears are a little more effective against these guys just now, aren't they? Because, yeah, we've already seen the AI in this game that what is it? The team know how to make an animal that will push you, back away from you, and that sort of thing. Please apply something like that to these guys, because they suck to deal with right now. Yeah, they're the least convincing creature in the game. The spears are so unconvincing sounding. Melee is so unconvincing. Takedowns are unconvincing. These guys, unconvincing. I'm not convinced. Taking damage, I'm not convinced. There's a lot more of you need to convince people more that the things happening in the game are happening. See, I keep going up to them, like being like, oh, I want to skin them, but I can't. One little thing that I would appreciate is more like an extra thing. I would like it if you could slide down the ropes, like fast. Instead of climbing, like you don't always have to climb down them, you could slide down them. Same with the ladders. Yeah, that'll do. See, I gotta start paying more attention and using the saves. Those are the mushrooms that clean your guns, but I'm not going to do that because I yeah, because I don't know how much I've actually used this pistol, but it feels like quite a lot. Got him. I like that when you sometimes catch the lucky headshot as well. This is not so much a game about headshots. It's just about about trying to land whatever shots you can. And that's where you benefit most. Checking your guns while you're on the move and making sure things are all right. Oh, and you heard that. See, some of the sound effects are good. That box shattering next to me and all that kind of stuff. And there's these really good little moments every now and again where they just put you under pressure. They can do it, it's just they don't always do it. Let's see. You might have some ammo on you. There we go. And that's the thing, I'm scavenging while I go. I'm trying to make use of the environment as much as I can. Dudes are showing up here and there. I'm checking my ammo while I go and stuff. It's such a fantastic rhythm. You can't move while shooting because it'll throw off your accuracy. There you go. Get him, get him, get him. Oh god. There we go, we're under pressure. It looks like they were pushing me a bit, so I got to back up. All of this just because I've kind of put myself under this one rule of don't do takedowns. And I want to incorporate the takedowns, it's just that there's no way to earn them. They're given to you way too easily. There we go. Bullet, no bullets. Oh, no bullets. Oh god. See, now we're under some proper pressure here. And here we go. So this is where I'm there like, right, I got nothing. What if I make myself some spears? Make some bandages. Quickly close it before they catch up. Heal up. This is when the combat peaks, and I want it to do this more. And then the water and the waves and stuff. Now, this is not the outpost I was talking about, but they go all out on this style of outpost later. Oh, we got a shotgun. Yeah, go on. How many bullets? 4, that's fine. How many now? Nah. Let's see. Pistol? Yeah, reload you. And that's the thing, I love it once it starts getting me to check things and make sure I'm all good and looking around and... Oh, and the waves and the waves and the vibe and shit. This game has got it going on. You should see the mess that the shotgun can make of people as well. Let's see. 'Cause if you can score a headshot with the shotgun... Oh, it's hideous. Let's see it. Oh, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. What if I think it seems like they've tweaked the combat encounters a bit as well, because this is lasting longer than I remember. It's good. I don't know how good collision detection is, because I'm wondering if, like, in some scenarios I can peek through, like, teeny tiny little gaps in the terrain or something like that. Right, where did he go? Where did he go? Oh, did I do that to this guy? Okay, yeah, no, this is the mess that a shotgun can make of some people. Like, folk do just fucking lose their torsos, their heads, their arms, and all that. I think I've had one scenario where I think I shot someone's arm off and they gave up. They're like, nah. they go bleed out somewhere. And I'm there like, I'm sorry, bro. You were killing me. Ah, there you are. Okay, I think that was a headshot. Let's go confirm. Well, that looks like it was more than a headshot. What the hell did I do to this guy? Yeah, there we go. It's just this blistering hole in his face. It's great. Oh, it's great. You see what I mean? The game truly shines at times, man. You know what? Yeah, no, this was a perfect example of a good outpost. This is a great outpost game as well. Oh, I love it. I love this game. I want to love this game in its entirety, but I don't just now. But I know that I can. If they just brush up on all the simple things that's wrong with it. Because look at stuff like this. Can you name me another game where water is as dynamic as this? This game looks so good, and the game knows it. Oh, such great environmental detail, man. It's great. Yeah, nah, I think I'll cap it off here. Because I've said just about everything that needs to be said. I'm sure some things I've missed out, but the essentials are covered. Sound effects. Those stupid little dinosaurs that spam at you all the time. The HUD. Anything else? What's the other major things? And then, of course, just like AI behavior, things tweak that up a bit, detection, stuff like that. The pressure's not too bad. The takedowns need to be sorted out, okay? And then just general other things. Things like environmental inconsistencies and stuff like that. It seems to be most apparent when I go underwater as well. Like, it's too easy to find things that's wrong with, like, the environment and stuff. I think that's, like, kind of your essential sort of things. Make more things that happen to you convincing. Convince me that I'm taking damage. Convince me that I'm bleeding out. Convince me that I've got a leech. This, that, and the other. Really try and sell to the player the things that are going on through sound effects, through screen judder. Maybe remove the legs from the player character. Maybe remove the limbs from when we're climbing ladders and things like that. You're practically within arm's reach of giving this game what it needs in game developer terms, because this is probably going to take a while before we see this game finished. But it is within reach. Don't give up on this, guys. Please don't. Right. Okay. I think I can cap it off there. Because I'm still pretty much happy with where the game's going. They just gotta get there. They just gotta get there. Anyone who's interested in picking up the game, like, do if you really, really want it. Just know that you're in for a janky time. And if you're up for that, then please do help out the devs wherever you can. Just let them know this, that, here, there. Any decent ideas you've got, help them out. Help them out. Because they deserve a little hand. They care about this project, and I can tell. Give them a hand, alright? Yeah, so, yeah, with all that being said, yeah, no, game, fucking, it's getting there, alright? It's getting there. Thanks.